Singapore's highest military award, the Distinguished Service Order Military, was conferred this morning on the Indonesian Minister for Defence and Security, General Edi Sudrajat. The Darjah Utama Bakti Cemerlang Tentera Medal was presented by President Wee Kim Wee. It's in recognition of General Edi's role in bringing about excellent ties between the two countries' armed forces and contributing to the warm relationship between Singapore and Indonesia. The citation read at the ceremony said, General Edi saw to the continuation of bilateral land, sea and air exercises that were increasingly complex. General Edi is the third Indonesian to be given the Distinguished Service Order Military. He was the Commander-in-Chief of the Indonesian Armed Forces from February till May this year. Earlier, General Edi reviewed a guard of honor mounted by the Army, Navy and Air Force. He also called on Prime Minister Goh Chok Tong and Minister for Defence, Dr. Yeo Ning Hong.
And in business news still to come, Hungary's move to a market economy.
Elegance, rhythm, and balance. Another sparkling performance from Nicole Opov and Rolex.
By discovering faster and more cost-effective ways to distribute almost anything to just about anywhere, DHL give you and your customers a competitive edge. DHL, keeping the lifeblood of industry moving, door to door. DHL, Express Freight.
Australia produces some of the finest dairy produce in the world. A wide range of pure, fresh Australian dairy products your whole family will enjoy for their taste as well as their natural goodness. Don't miss these delicious Australian dairy food brands in your local supermarket, brought direct from the lush green pastures of Australia.
Now served daily at Singapore's other botanical gardens, the most authentic Nyonya buffet lunch. Where else but the Waterfall Cafe at Shangri-La Hotel.
Use our user-friendly ATMs for faster banking transactions.
Opel, the official car of the 1993 SEA Games.
The senior minister, who's heading an economic delegation to Hungary, says he's optimistic of the country's shift towards a market economy. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew has been meeting Hungarian leaders and assessing the possibility for economic cooperation between the two sides. Tamal Selvan reports from Budapest.
Last evening, the senior minister called on the Hungarian president, Mr. Arpad Göncz. The 1.5-hour meeting took place at the president's office at Parliament House. The Parliament building, the biggest structure in Hungary, is modelled after the Westminster. Built at the turn of the century, the Gothic-style building has a Baroque spatial effect. There are two chambers, but Hungary's parliamentary system is now unicameral. The present 386th National Assembly, democratically elected in 1990, sits 3 times a week. This afternoon, the Singapore delegation visited a bus factory. Icarus Autobus Company, once state-owned, has since been privatized. It manufactures some 4,000 bus bodies and chassis a year. Fitted with imported engines, the buses are sold worldwide. To reach the Asia-Pacific market, a new company, ICA Pacific, was formed last year. It's an Hungarian joint venture with Singapore and Russian partners. ICA Pacific, the marketing firm for these Icarus buses, is based in Singapore. It's a concrete example of how Hungary hopes to use Singapore as a launching pad for its products in the Asia-Pacific region. This is Tamil Selvan for SBC News from Budapest.
In our second report on globalization, we look at how the flying kangaroo, Qantas, plans to regain its competitive edge. It's all happening through a new partnership struck within the airline.
Sydney's bid to host the 2000 Olympics got a cold shower last January when about 300 baggage handlers went on strike. Olympic Council officials were among the thousands stranded in Sydney Airport. Yet another embarrassment for a country where unions have long been calling the shots, but a watershed for Qantas.
It was a case of the troops seeking to challenge the no-strike provisions of the enterprise agreement, and the good news story is that the men have all signed personal undertakings that they will abide by the dispute settlement procedure, which effectively guarantees us industrial harmony.
A hiccup for the enterprise agreement, which came into effect shortly after. It covers all unions except those of pilots which have their own agreements. The result of 12 months of negotiation, it was an agreement not to strike till the end of 1994 and to settle disputes harmoniously. Qantas says it's the start of a new work ethic and a new industrial vision, which the Australian Council of Trade Unions and the government are pushing.
It's gone from a situation in the past of confrontation to a situation of cooperation, where management and unions and staff really see a partnership. If we are going to be competitive, if we are going to survive, then we've all got to work together.
This partnership will increase productivity by 5%, enough to prevent the airline's market share from being eroded by competitors and enable it to compete strongly in the world.
In tomorrow's news, find out how the national carrier SIA spreads its wings.